Hello dear fellow teachers. Welcome to the third stage of the Methodological Resource to Learning for the English program of the High Performance Schools in Peru. Let's construct. Yay! This formative process starts by making our students do their best at using their thinking skills. Students were presented an image as a meaningful artifact. Then, an open question: what's your opinion? Is it good or bad? They were asked for giving a reason by asking why. Afterwards, students were challenged to think of a completely different option they chose by asking, why not the other? This was to create a cognitive conflict. This way, the student gets puzzled and is expected that through inquiring, it means questioning and revising valid information, they can contrast this new information to what they primarily thought, in order to reflect and draw a better idea about the topic. Consequently, they can stand their own stance. For instance, nobody likes coronavirus disease or any kind of disease due to the pain they cause, but as Chinese philosophy, yin-yang concept says, there's a balance between good and bad. And it is important to consider it while we intend to educate critical thinkers. Let's Construct is all about the learning purpose, or language skills development. Communicate orally by understanding and producing oral texts and language oral interactions, plus reading and writing diverse text types. Also, the selection of good authentic resources is crucial at this stage, as they will be the input and a model to feed up students with authentic target language traits for them to use of the language properly.
Because we are food for worms, lads.
Then, it is a need to raise message awareness, to make them understand the importance of information conveyance.
Ooh, Harry Potter. Isn't that a kid's book?
And conceptual understanding, that will help students grow quality in the way they will use any language. Moreover, all of the activities regarding the learning purpose are proposed in here, in Let's Construct stage. Now, let's refer to an MRTL for 5th graders of secondary. As you see, our topic is technology. As usual, we start engaging the student by a meaningful artifact. A mean, in this case, an opinion question and an essential question to create cognitive conflict. Then, we go to Let's Inquire and Contrast, where we provide them some information which is annexed, to help students contrast their presumptions with authentic information about the topic. Oops. It's important to understand that at school, students will work collaboratively to search for different sources of information, but since they are locked down at home, and some of them lack of technology or connectivity, we enclose the necessary sources of information for them in the MRTL. For this Let's Construct stage-specific sample, we have picked out 2 methodological resources. The first one is aiming to help students develop their reading comprehension skills, and we will focus on the text used for Inquire and Contrast titled, Advantages and Disadvantages of Technology Today, and it is connected to a health services context. As it was said before, all of the language skill development handling activities are to be in this stage. So, the first text handling exercise corresponds to identifying specific written information and its IB-like format for true-false justification. The second exercise, for reading comprehension, will help students develop inferential skills, and it's adapted from FCE-like format. After that, we included a very short but meaningful activity that will help us raise our students' awareness about conceptual understanding. As you may have noticed, we haven't mentioned any text type so far. This is because, in here, we will make students decide over 3 text type options, and obviously, we'll ask them to give reasons for their choice, which means more excuses to open peer interaction spaces during the synchronic mediation. To complement language learning skill development along Let's Construct, students will listen to Ethan Dickens, a student from Dr. John Long School of Law, Florida, USA.
Could you go a day without technology? No, I didn't think so.
As you may have heard in the excerpt, his speech is about technology in educational contexts. This information will help students collect more input about the topic, and most importantly, they are exposed to authentic spoken resources, to foster listening comprehension skills. This 4-minute speech makes a good resource to propose a couple of listening comprehension text handling activities. Choose the 4 true statements and choose the correct answer. In a nutshell, Let's Construct in the MRTL is the mediation stage and a great opportunity to help our students develop their languages skills directly by exposing them to written and spoken resources, which will become the input and intake they need to hold conversations and participate in debates, as well as write diverse text types according to their needs. Nonetheless, you may wonder, what's the teacher's role in here? Well, teachers are very important in here at generating interactive spaces for students to be the center of the learning process, as well as expanding knowledge and constructing understandings by reflective feedback on language aspects, not on the topics, but the target language, because topics are just a prop to develop skills. And obviously, we are not topic, but language teachers. This is it for now. We're getting ready for the next stage in the MRTL, which is Let's Transfer. Have a nice teaching. Bye-bye.